The other individual, Augustine of Hippo, or St. Augustine, dates 354 to 430. Tony, I would argue, and more important than just my own assessment, I think there's a virtual consensus that St. Augustine may be the most influential Christian outside of the Bible. His influence is really enormous. Catholics, of course, honor him deeply, but so do Protestants. I'll give you an example of that. John Calvin, the great biblical scholar of the Reformation era, Calvin quotes Thomas Aquinas 100 times, approximately, another 100 times from Martin Luther. He quotes Augustine 4,200 times. And again, the idea as a Protestant, he wanted to make the case that the best in Catholic scholarship, in his mind, Augustine was on his side on many important ideas. Augustine is known for many things, battling the Pelagian heresy. Pelagius was a British monk who said people are born good. Sin is not so much part of our nature. Sin is just a matter of having bad habits and bad role modeling, and you could be saved without the grace of God intervening in your life. Well, Augustine responded and said, we possess a sinful nature that we have received, passed on from Adam. Augustine battled many other heretical perspectives, but I would say maybe his most influential areas in the books that he wrote, his book, The Confessions, Tony, is it really begins the whole genre of literature called the autobiography. And this book talks about his extraordinary life, his great conversion. Confessions really is understood in the triple sense. It is his confession of faith, but also his confession of his own sinfulness and a confession to the glory of God. There was a study done a number of years ago by evangelical scholars, and outside of Scripture, Augustine's Confession was voted the most influential Christian book in history. He also wrote other books, The City of God, which is an extraordinary critique of the Greco-Roman philosophy and a presentation of the history of the Christian faith, a philosophy of history, if you will. And he also wrote an extraordinary book on the Trinity called On the Trinity.